Hello and welcome to Mr. Davis's classroom. This is Algebra 1 and today we're going to go over lesson 1212, which is about frequency and histograms. So please hit pause and try the warm-up and proceed when you're done. All right, so problem 1 is talking about making a frequency table. Now when we make a frequency table, we want to break these up into groups and see how many numbers fall into each group. So the first thing we should do here, because we're going to put all these home runs into a frequency table, is find out what's the spread or what's the range of data. And if we look, I think we can see that 17 here is my largest number and 2 is my smallest, which means that there's a spread of 16 numbers. Right? Some people right here are going to say, well, 17 minus 2 is 15. Right? That's not completely right because of if we think we're including 2, so the only one we're not including is 1, which makes it 16. Right? So we're going to be talking about 16 numbers. So we need to think about what's a good split for 16. And what we could think, well, we could split them into groups of 4, or not groups of 4, but spreads of 4. So we could go from 2 to 6, 7 to 11. Wait, hold on. So not 2 to 6, 2 to 5. That includes, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. 6 to 9, that includes 6, 7, 8, 9, so group of 4. 10 to 13, that includes 10, 11, 12, 13. And then 14 to 17, that includes 14, 15, 16, 17. There we go. So there's my groups. So this is home runs. Over here, this is called frequency, right? So 2 to 5. So I'm going to count how many ones are between 2 and 5. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm marking them, I'm crossing them out when I get done so I can keep track. Between 6 and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Between 10 and 13. 1, 2, 3. And between 14 and 17, 1, 2, 3. So that's a frequency table for home runs. Now this isn't the only way we could do it. We could break up, right here we said that we wanted, groups of 4 or 4 home runs, or an interval of 4. We could have made that interval anything. We could have made intervals of 2 or intervals of 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 to get the information that we wanted from it. Okay, so actually what you're going to do now is you're going to do that same problem. So you might have to go back and get those numbers from your notebook, but you do that same problem, but we're going to do intervals of 5. So we're going to be going 2 through, see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 to 6, and so on. All right, go ahead and hit pause, and then when you're ready to continue. All right, problem 2 is talking about a histogram. Now, a histogram is going to be something that we can make from a frequency chart. So first off, we have our data there, and we need to think, what type of intervals do I want for my frequency table? So if you're following along in the book, we'll use those ones. But anyways, we're going to make a frequency table of hours and then frequency. Okay. So in the book, they use 0 to 5, 6 to 11, 12 to 17, 18 to 23. Now, this in these intervals here, we could have set them as anything we wanted to. If we wanted to go, 0 to 4, 5 to 10, and all that stuff, that would have been fine. Right? If we wanted to go by twos, if we wanted to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that would have been fine. The only reason why we chose these intervals is because that's the one they used in the books. If you're following along in your book, it's going to be consistent. Next, frequency, just like we did before, 0 to 5. We're going to count them as we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Then 6 to 11. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 12 to 17. 1, 2, 3. And 18 to 23, it looks like there's only one of them. So that's my frequency chart. Okay, next, when we make a histogram is a frequency chart that has been made into a bar-like graph. So on the bottom here, I'm going to make my intervals. So I have 0 to 5. I have 6 to 11. I have 12 to 17. And I have 18 to 23. On the left side, all right, so these were my hours. On the left side is going to be my frequency. I know that my biggest frequency is 6, so I have to go up to 6. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we just fill in a bar for each frequency. So 0 to 5 goes all the way up to 6. I'm going to go ahead and color it in. And because I have a fancy smartboard, I'm going to change colors. I'm going to go 6 to 11. That's a frequency of 5. There we go. And then green for 12 to 17, which is a frequency of 3. And the last one, which is 18 to 23, has a frequency of 1. So that histogram is a visual representation of a frequency chart. Right? And I think it's pretty easy to see which ones are biggest to smallest. All right, go ahead and use this for your histogram, and you think that what would be the best range of groups for your histogram intervals. Next thing we're going to talk about with histograms is we can describe them by their shape. So we have 3 different graph shapes here. All right. First one that we're going to talk about is called uniform. Uniform. And if we look at this one here, it looks like most of those bars are approximately the same height. I mean, there's a little bit of variation there, but I mean, pretty flat. So that means uniform. They're roughly the same height. We move to the next one. It's called symmetric. And we look at symmetric here. It's kind of got a nice, it goes up and then comes back down again. So it's got nice shape to it. And the peak is right there in the middle. This last one, which is skewed, is talking about when that peak is no longer towards the middle, it's more towards the back. So it's tilting, right? And that's called skewed. So those 3 vocab words. Now let's talk about these 2. Right? Is each one uniform, symmetric, or skewed? So if I look on A, it looks, see, it's not uniform, right? Because uniform approximately the same height, and there's definitely some jumps here. And because the tallest bar is towards the middle, or the height of the histogram is towards the middle, this one makes this one symmetric. On B, again, it's not uniform. They're varying in height. And the center, or the tallest is not in the center. But the tallest part is over here, which is towards the right side. That makes this one skewed. All right, there you Go ahead and try got it number 3. All right, problem 4 says the number of text messages sent on one day by different students are shown below. Was a cumulative frequency table that represents the data. So here, what we need to do is a frequency table, and then we're going to add a third column, which is going to be cumulative frequency. So first thing I need to do is I need to look at the spread. So I go from 0 to 49. So that means I have 0 to 49. Which means that we have basically a spread of 50. Right? So in that spread of 50, if I want to make a nice set of intervals, I think 5 intervals would be really nice. If I had 5 intervals, I need 5 intervals of 10. Okay? So that means I'm going to go from 0 to 9. That's 10 numbers. 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, and 40 to 49. And then on the right-hand side, we need to count off those frequencies. All right, so this is text. This one's frequency. So let's count 0 to 9. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't think I missed any, so 11. 10 to 19, 1, 2, 3, 3. 20 to 29, 1, 2, 3. 30 to 39, 1, 2. And the last one is 40 to 49, which is 1, 2. So that's frequency. The third column, which I talked about, is going to be this cumulative frequency, right? So cumulative frequency. All right. And basically what we're going to do here is we're just going to add all the previous frequencies with it. So we're going to start off with 11. But once we get here, we're going to talk about all the ones before as well. So it's not only going to be 3, but it's going to be 3 plus 11. 3 plus 11, which is 14. On the next one, we're going to use 3 plus 14, which is 17. So you see that the cumulative frequency, we're adding them up, or they're starting to snowball. 19 and 21. So this is my cumulative frequency chart. Okay. Very good. Here's your homework, and thank you for stopping by Mr. Davis's classroom.